Hey bartenders, I'm Ricky Augustin. I work at Pegu Club, and I just wanted to very quickly say thank you for being on this forum and engaging with each other the way that you do. We learn from and connect with each other faster now than ever, so thank you so much for the work that you do in this community of passionate professionals. I want to share 4 things with you today, 4 things jiggery, if you will. First, we'll revisit the 3-finger grip for 2 jiggers, and then we'll talk about reducing spillage from jiggers. I want to share with you a second type of grip, the ring grip, and finally using combinations of jiggers for common measures. Let's talk again about the 3-finger grip like we did yesterday. Between my thumb and my forefinger, I've got the Lil Jig. I've got the 1/2 and 3/4 one there with the 3/4 end facing up. And in between my forefinger and middle finger, it's my Bigga Jigga with the 1 ounce end of my 1-2 jigger facing up. Now again, use what's right for you. Use what makes sense to you. If you use another measure more frequently, make it accessible. Now in practice, it's going to look like this. We'll say that this is a daiquiri. So we'll measure a sour ingredient. Measure it up to tension. Very important. If you go short, if you go there, that's not a true 3/4 ounce. We're going to measure our sweet ingredient. And then we're going to flip it around to access the 2-ounce jigger for our strong ingredient. And that's going to cover most of your sour cocktails, or sour family of cocktails there. Now another common problem is spillage. And I'm just going to share with you what works for me. Please feel free in the comments section, just let me know what works for you. The 2 things that I found that work for me anyway, are either to tilt the jigger forward, or to pour a whirlpool into the jigger and then reverse the pattern on the way up. And I'll show you what that looks like using this 2-ounce jigger, which is a lot easier to see on screen. So, tilt it forward, tilt it back up. You're going to hit the top every time. And then the second way that I've found is going to be to pour a whirlpool in and then reverse the direction of that whirlpool on the way up. And I'll show you what that looks like. Create that whirlpool, and halfway up, switch it over, and then it just makes it very stable, and then it goes. So now that you've got that, let me show you another grip. This was shown to me by Will Pete at the bar at the Nomad Hotel. What he does at times is wear them like rings. So it's the same principle as a 3-finger grip, only you're merely changing the position of these of your tools. So we're just going to shift your Bigga Jigga in between your ring and pinky, and then move this over 1 position to where the Bigga Jigga formerly was. And in practice, we're going to use the same thing. We're going to take your sour, measure it to tension, in, got your sweet, and check it out. Once you flip it over, it's already there. Okay. Added bonus, your thumb is free, so you can uncap or recap, put some stuff back, rinse it out, and you're back in service. It's pretty awesome. Now the last thing that I want to share with you today is using these jiggers for other measurements. Now this may seem like common sense to a lot of you, but for everyone else, don't feel bad. I failed math like 3 times. So the 2 measurements that we're going to cover is 1.5 and the 1 1/4. Now again, it sounds like common sense, but I'm going to cover it with you because it just didn't make sense to me up until recently, and I just feel silly about it. But this is going to be 2 pours of 3/4 ounces for 1.5 ounces. And also, for a less oft-used measurement, the 1 1/4, as you can probably guess, we're going to use a pour of 3/4. Make sure that's all out, and then once that's turned over, pour a 1/2 ounce in, for a total of 1 1/4. Make sense? So what have we added to our toolbox today? We've talked about the 3-finger grip for 2 jiggers. We've talked about reducing spillage, using tilting it forward to create that steep barrier on which that jet of liquor or other ingredient is going to come back on itself, making it stable all the way up. And also using the whirlpool technique to create that whirlpool, and then halfway up, or about halfway up, changing the direction of that jet so that, again, the liquid is stable as it rises up. We also talked about the ring grip, which is, again, just like the 3-finger grip, but moving your jiggers over to be able to access them in different positions. And then finally, we talked about using combinations of jiggers for common measures, using the 1.5 or the 1 1/4. So thanks again so much for your time. You guys have a great shift, and when you're done, swing by Pegu for a shift drink. Cheers.